Alright my Gs, so this is a video mostly for newer subscribers. You know, a lot of my hardcore subscribers will already know these kind of techniques, you know, but how to make a really easy, vital Neurofunk sound, Neurofunk bass, and what's the secret sauce? It's actually so easy and vital, I find, to make great neuro sounds, you know. All I really do is take a sine wave, for example. We could try something like a Reese. We could go with two saw waves, maybe detuned sort of around, yeah, this kind of, we'll get a little bit. Okay, and then all we want to do is we want to do a bit of FM, so maybe we'll do a bit of FM. Okay, gets things nice and, we'll leave the unison off. It gets things nice and juicy with the FM up here though, you know. We can turn the phase randomization off as well. And then on these two saw waves here, we could try adding some of the kind of smear effect. That's quite a nice one. We can add these on an LFO as well. So it's got a quite a detuned and interesting tonality already. So the next thing though, really, where it gets exciting, is to use the phaser filters, you know. So we want to use something, we could try the negative one here. We want to target the low mid-range in the sort of cutoff. So what you want is, you can see the cutoff I've got down here. If you haven't got the hertz selected, you just go to the advanced, and down here you can change the units to hertz from semitones, which is quite useful. And then we just want to target that sort of, I don't know, 200 to 500 area. We can drive it up here. Maybe let's try a different pattern with the LFO, make it a bit faster perhaps. We apply it with a beat here as well. You can add a bit of bend to these saw waves as well for a bit of extra variation. Now what we can do is we can run this through another filter. This time we'll do the phaser positive, and we'll select the input from filter 1, so it's going through in series. We'll put the LFO on this one again, but this time we'll go the other way, so we'll go to the left this time. And then what we'll do is we'll just crank up the distortion on the whole lot. You can try some of the different modes. I like the soft clipping. Now it's really all going to come together when we add in the chorus here. So we got quite a lot of high-end fizz, and that can be kind of softened out with a bit of a low-pass sort of filter here. You can put that on the cutoff as well. Now what we can do is we can reintroduce some high end, but now the high end will be a bit cleaner. And we can do that by having the multi-band compressor, taking the attack up and the release down, and then just mixing the LFO one here, putting the LFO one onto the mix knob. Okay, now we'll just add a touch of reverb. And now we can have a little play with our LFO, make it a bit nicer. And one final thing we can do is just tweak the settings that we just created, just to find some better sweet spots. You can dial back the mix on the filters as well, so they're not as aggressive. And if we want to add extra variation to the LFO, we can take LFO 2 and put it over here onto the phase position of LFO 1. And then we can do something like slow it down a bit, keep it flat at the beginning, and then have a part where it changes and goes up here later. Maybe we'll sort of find a nice funky part in the groove, you know? Maybe it can happen even a little bit later in the loop. We put this on the dotted as well. So that kind of follows the pattern a bit nicer there. So that's really, really nice. And then that we've already got a great sound here. We can EQ it a bit for a bit more presence. As you can see here, the high end is lacking a little bit, so we'll just bring the high end up a bit here. We can bring the low end up a bit as well if we need to. But if you turn off these phaser filters, you got quite a nice sound, but it just doesn't have any real shape to it, you know. So that's what the filters are really useful for, putting that shape in. And this one here adds a lot of shape, this low pass. When you're doing the low pass as well, if you find it's taking out too much, you can just dial some mix back on the LFO to add to the groove, bring a bit more high end back in. One more thing, you can test out having a flanger right at the beginning of your chain. Especially if you bring the center down, it can get quite interesting. And just mix it in a little bit. You can give it quite a nice natural pitch change, the flanger, and it sounds pretty good, high quality. So that's like one cheeky way to make a neuro kind of mid-bass sound in Vital. I didn't plan that at all, you know. I just went in with the knowledge of using the phaser filters, applying some movement in the sort of low mid areas, and then using a healthy amount of distortion and chorus to bring the sound to life, you know. With the chorus, you don't want to go, if you go up too high, you're going to lose a lot of the mono power, so you want to stay around 20 or 30% ideally, you know. But that's like a quick and easy beginner tutorial on making a neuro sound in Vital. And if I really sort of planned out a whole video, I could probably make an even better sound than that. But that's just to show you this sort of idea, sort of where you can get started. We didn't even use any white noise. You could also program in a little bit of white noise on the level with the LFO. Just to kind of treat the high end a bit, you know? Obviously, you can play with whatever LFO shapes you want, but you get the idea. That's a nice and easy beginner Vital neuro bass. So little refresher, little homage to Vital today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's it for today. Much love, and yeah, thanks for all your support on the channel. Leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new. And check out the links in my videos as well. I got preset packs for vitals on my website. For vitals? I've got loads of vital preset packs on my website. We have a great Patreon community as well that you can come and join. One-on-one lessons are available, and mastering services are also available. All right, that's it for me today. More from me very soon. Much love.